Hello, Moonlight. How are you doing today? As you can see, today I'm being static. That way, I can focus more on you instead of myself. Hello, Zeno, and hello, Poppy. Good to have you here. You look beautiful today. And hello, Painter. Looking very handsome. I'm stuck at Windows 7 wallpaper, perhaps. Welcome, Ken. Hello. Pancakes are burning. Very good job, sweetie. Don't worry. We'll sort that out. Important thing is that you tried to make pancakes. That's what's important, you know? So, let me change the sounds. I tried to make pancakes. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm completely forgot. Oh my god. I changed the background sound. Please let me know if you don't like it. Okay. Now, this is my first ASMR, so I'm trying to figure out how to do it, you know? Are we outside now? If you want to be outside, then we are. The story will come later. I'm happy that you're eager, but it has to wait. You're all very cute today. Poppy, I know how much you waited for this ASMR, and I'm hope you're very happy right now. So, who needs some pep talk? Good job, Poppy. You charged your headphones. I'm happy that you went out of your way to do that for me. Bye, Zeno. So, hello, Sarte. Is it okay if I call you Sarte? You look very nice today. Welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. I will always remember you, Zeno. I'm very pretty. Thank you, Sarte. I appreciate it. And I'm very happy, Poppy, that you do anything for me. But remember to care for yourself. I would do anything for you guys. Mosquitoes are pestering you, Ken. Don't worry. You're stronger than them. You know, you're big, bigger, smarter. You can create stuff, not like mosquitoes. So don't worry about mosquitoes. Those are temporary obstacles in your life. Yes, they do say that, Sarte. Yes, my hair is a little bit like Hatsune Miiku's, you know. The itch is still there, yes, but the itch passes, isn't it? Doesn't it, Ken? You might be itchy because of the mosquitoes, but the itch will pass. And that's how problems are in life too. In the grand scheme of things, they are only an itch. And I know you guys will be stronger than those problems because you're good enough for that. You're strong. Of course, Poppy. I was waiting for you to ask. Poppy, you are a good girl. Good girl. Now come here. I will pat you. Here you go. I'm sure your cosplay is very good, you know. Good job on that. I cannot see it right now. You're the tower. Oh, yes, beautiful tower, indeed. But I said good girl, so I think I have to also say, guys, painter, Ken, I don't know your gender, Sarte, but any guys that are watching, good boy. You all are good boys and girls. I'm very proud of you. You are enough. I know how hard all of you work and try to be better. I see you guys talk about it in my chat. So I know that you all are smart beans. And also gender neutral version, good beans. You are a good bean. That's actually, and that's at least what I heard people say to gender neutral people. Am I good bean too? Thank you. Hello, Songor. What's the story? We're going to read that later. It's a story by Moonpearl, a viewer of mine. I didn't expect for Whisper to be kind of straining on my throat, to be honest, but I feel it a little bit. But you guys are here, and I feel powerful because of you. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. ASMR rant. No, I don't want to destroy the vibes, Ken. Very gay stories from 20th century Europe. No, I didn't read those, but that could be interesting. Yes. Shall I just say a few things to you guys without... I just want to be nice, so I want you to be aware, guys, that I know you did your best, and that's what matters. You might not have succeeded this time at whatever you were doing, but you did your best. I'm proud of you. You can, guys, you can tell me what we were working on or are working on right now. I didn't know that person, Zeno. You're feeling kind of unhinged. That's fine. That's when you're at your best, painter. When you're unhinged. Just remember how I taught you to take the unhingedness under control. Of course I can pronounce Grzegorz Brzęczyszczykiewicz Sengor. Grzegorz Brzęczyszczykiewicz. Grzegorz Brzęczyszczykiewicz. Grzegorz Brzęczyszczykiewicz. Do you like those triggers? I don't know, Zeno, but you should get that checked out. But I'm very proud of you for that as well. Very nice stones. Those were names, Poppy. I pronounced some names. Some more pep talk. One was a name and the other was a surname. Of course you are smart. Poppy, everyone here is smart, even if you're dumb, guys. I know. You're dumb in a cute way. Because you're just so cute. Well, your mom also has a name, Zeno. I just want you guys to hear some of the things I want you to. I got lost in the sauce there. A little bit of the brain lag. It's okay, everyone gets brain lags. You can get lost in your own words. That's fine. That's expected. Everyone, has some struggles. Many people has social struggles with speaking. I'm the same, and that's fine. If you are suffering from that as well, don't worry, it will be better. What I wanted to say was some uplifting messages for you. It's okay if you do not feel okay right now. It's okay to be down. The whole life will not be fine. Sometimes you will feel worse, but it's okay to feel worse. It will pass, and I'm sure you will persevere, because I believe in you. I believe If you have any requests for me to say stuff, please let me know. Continuing my thought, your feelings are valid. Rozumiesz mnie. Here you go, Zino. Rozumiesz mnie. Rozumiesz mnie. Rozumiesz mnie. Rozumiesz mnie. I noticed that my whisper changes when I go to Polish. That's interesting. To me, at least. No matter how you feel, your feelings are valid. Even if you feel bad, there are reasons for your feelings. As long as you understand those reasons, or try to understand them, you will be good. You have a lot to offer to the world. You are already offering a lot to me by being here, by chatting, by lurking, by being yourself. You are loved. There are people that love you or will love you. No person in the world is unloved. Everyone is capable of love and receiving love. You are no different. You are a light that cannot be extinguished. You are a light for me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being born. With all that I say, remember that someone else's bad mood is not your responsibility to fix. You may want to fix someone's mood, and it's admirable, and I'm proud of you if you do that. But remember that you shouldn't have to if you don't feel strong enough. It's okay. And it's okay to be happy, even if others are not. The bills are real or just a sound effect? Of course they are real, silly. It's not those birds are not government drones for spying at all. And I feel like I have to say it many more times. You are enough. You are enough. You are enough. You are enough. Good girl. Good girl. Good boy. Good boy. Good being. It's okay. Everything will be okay. Everything is going to be okay. I just want to know, do we have any forklift operators here? If there are any forklift operators, you're doing great. You're amazing forklift operator. And your boss is envious of your parkour skills. Artists. If there's any artists, and I know they are, you are a great artist. And you can draw a beautiful line. Farmers, your vegetables are the best. Animals love you. You are worthy of self-care. Okay, thank you again. Thank you for watching. You should take some time for yourself, guys. You should take them for yourself. You should practice self-care. You should. I say you should. If you want to. I recommend to take time for yourself. It's allowed. Everyone should be doing that. Just some kisses for you. I'm looking at my audio wave, and it seems like my microphone is picking up. But it's fine. Those are whispers. You don't have to hear every single word. But I can speak a little bit louder if that's what you prefer. Let me guys know what kind of volume do you prefer. Was I too quiet? Is this better? Or is this better? You know. You like the whisper? Good. Any requests? Should I say something to you guys? Call you something? and sometimes fail, but it's okay. I will learn from my mistakes, as you will learn from them. Not necessarily my mistake. Let me check something. I will probably start reading something soon. But I'm very glad. Should you make an open kitchen close? I don't know. Make which one do you like? Sweetie. You're so funny, Painter. Always with your questions. Sure you can give me another. Don't twist there, can? I had a little barb. So she works in a shoe shine shop. While she shines, she sits, and while she sits, she shines. Here you go. I want to thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate it. It's a weird experience for me, trying to figure out how to properly spell and what to say. So you're all lovely people. Thank you very much. I know that Bobby would like to hear more. So, Bobby, this goes for you, but anyone who enjoys this as well. You're a good dog. Good dog. Good girl. Yes. Who's the good girl? Who's the good dog? Who's the good boy? Who's the good bee? Yes, you are. You are all good, my good pets. Good pet. Or perhaps, are you not a dog? Are you a kitty? Good kitty. Good kitty, 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 kitty. What a beautiful pussy you are. You might have heard a dog in the background. You're smart. You're good. You're enough. It might have settings like that, okay? But I didn't want to bother with them for my first ASMR. It's more complicated than that. Right now, I just want to focus purely on whispering and saying stuff to you. I hope you enjoyed that, to some degree at least. You're beautiful, you're pretty, you're handsome, you're good, you're enough. You're doing everything that you can. If you fail, you can pick yourself up. If you can't pick yourself up by yourself, there will be someone for you. I believe in that. I'm here right now. Just for you. I'm proud of you. Proud of all of you. I'm happy that you all chose my stream. It's an honor to have you as my moonites. My beautiful little moonites. If I brush you a little, let me know if you like that sound. Like that. Go. I brushed you just a little bit. We'll see how it sounded for you. Oh, here. One more play. Like tapping sounds. So, would you like me to read you a bedtime story? Or do you want me to just tell you more sweet things to your ear? Let me know. I can glaze you up more. I can glaze you up all day. Because there's so many good things about you that I will never run out to say. I believe that all of you here are nice people. I believe so, Teen Metal. Welcome. Although this ASMR is not multi-directional, so we will just hear me from all around your room, which might be nice if that's what you want. But you're looking very nice today. Thank you for coming. I appreciate your presence. Your presence is appreciated. I'm kinda running out of breath, which is weird. You like home theater system? I mean, yeah, you can play ASMR on that. You just have to find out how it sounds, and if you like it by yourself. I don't have that experience to tell you. But if you play in a system like that, I will become even more powerful. Wahaha. Yes, surround yourself with my voice, Tinetta. Help me ascend to a higher dimension. Thank you. Make me more powerful. You're a good boy, Tinetta. Or could be. I'm not sure actually. Sorry. Some unpleasant movement. I was moving my microphone. So, shall we read a story? I will. In a moment. Doing ASMR is more tiring than I imagined. Oh no. Wait a second. Let me just deal with YouTube ads. No one deserves YouTube ads. the stream so far. Now we're going to read a story by one of the viewers. It's going to be a BL, boys love. So, you know, we're growing gay. We'll be becoming gay right now. I hope everyone likes being gay. If you're gay, you're valid. Yeah, I probably should have said some gender affirming things, so yeah. Your expression of yourself is valid. If you want to be feminine, you're allowed. If you want to be masculine, you're allowed. If you want to do something in between, you're allowed. You can be whoever you want, and you can express yourself how you want to be perceived or at heart. I'm really having problems with YouTube ads right now. Okay. Oh no, it started raining. We're moving into the home. Hello, Night Lane. Joe Mama. Please, Annie. No, yeah, I know, Joe Mama. You're very fun. Now, please. That's enough. Alright. You're welcome to come back in 5 minutes. Okay, I think it's time to read a story. The story is by Lady Montbell of the Twitch chat. My viewer, who read one of her stories in the past on stream and it was great. This one is The Heart of the Forest. Premise tags, magic tree, God-human relationship, isekai protagonist, body modification, couple growth, transgender protagonist, love interest with multiple bodies. Those are some crazy tags without context. Content warning. Minor depictions of violence, sexual implied themes, translated anxiety and representation. Here we go. It started that as most omnibus things did. In spring, Lifthaven winters had been particularly long and bitter that year. The snow had piled up on the streets so much that they had run out of places to shift in, and the frigid gales stripped the heat from every home. In the nursery, the 3 guards had winds as their armor cracked on patrol, the cold turning their uniform into portable nails on chalkboard. Now the icy breeze carried a sweet, warm afternoon, and the areas of the spring blooming plants were casting their perfumes to the winds. There wasn't a citizen around who didn't feel the shift in atmosphere. Daiki and his colleagues wondered. I'm trying to find a good voice for it. Daiki and his colleagues wandered back to the headquarters after their first shift that day. They buoyant and chatty. Nice hair and eyes, by the way, grinned Sherin, resting her spear against muscled shoulder. Her long chestnut hair had long work free from its brain, and the wind swept it across her brown skin like triumphant Lara Croft. Lara Croft exists in this universe. Thanks. He dragged his hand back through his hair and shot her a playful grin so she could admire them both. I had them transmutated yesterday. The raven black and the royal purple he'd chosen complemented his tanned skin perfectly. If he did say so himself. I can't believe we threw you a party to celebrate your final transmutation, and you go straight back in a week later. Teased Helbriton, waking backwards, so he could look at them. Walking backwards, so he could look at them. Did you miss dysentery or something? Like he dismissed the hot, sticky discomfort that tried to lodge in his chest and chuckled. This one's cosmetic. The ads they put in that waiting room must be hypnotic. I've been dying to try out since last year. So could you look even flashier? So I don't look like an NPC anymore. They shot each other looks and burst into laughter. Hadmos, a quiet man who was dead ringer for Legolas except for his amber skin, said, "That's done the talk for. Wearing purple on Mondays wasn't enough for me." Hey! And even though their armor was heavy, he raced to catch him. The soft breeze carrying the laughter across the courtyard. It was a precious day, a day for hearts to relax and people to play, not uncommon in Delphin, but never to be taken for granted. I didn't know this. Hence, good afternoon, guardsmen. Bang, clang, smash. 5 sets of plate armor crash into each other at full force, clinging and ringing as they scrambled to separate. No one had seen their superior, Captain Kaler, watching them from the entrance. "Sir," they cried in unison, saluting as they were trained to. "These guardsmen." Their relief looked peaceful. Fatherly smile didn't vanish from his pale white face. Like a word with a guardsman right. Surprised, Daiki followed him into the building. On the outside his expression was calm, but his chest was tight. No matter how carefully he combed over his memories, there was no misstep he could recall, except a little slip-up at the banquet last month. Congratulations again on completing your transmutations. You look much happier, son. Kara threw back one of those gentle, sincere smiles that could disarm an ogre. Despite his many years of service and the unbeatable strength of his posture, his snow-white hair and twinkling blue eye had always made him feel like a strict but kindly grandfather, taking consciously straightened. Thank you, sir. What are your plans now? He grinned sheepishly. I guess it's the normal for me. Aim for a mansion and good husband to share it with. Carlo chuckled. Well, I'd be glad to help you with at least one of those. A new fear shot into the back of his brain, sending eyes trickling down his back. He tried to remember if Keller had any grandchildren, or even relatively young sons, just in case. He prepared every polite excuse he had learned since arriving here. Thankfully, Captain Giolan was waiting in Keller's office. Please sit, said Keller, gesturing to the towering velvet chair in front of the desk. The feather cushions capped his armor perfectly, but did nothing to make the inside more comfortable. Guardsmen were right. We've brought you here today to discuss a promotion, began Giolan. Promotion? Keller smiled fondly. You know, from the moment you were brought to me, I had the feeling you were destined for great things. It's not because you're an outworlder, but because you have such a vast knowledge and a real touch with plant life. Otherworldly training was to thank for that, but he stayed quiet. So that's our isekai protagonist. Look at how the young trees adore you. This could be your chance to soar. The position as Lord Messimalium's personal knight has just become vacant, and we believe you're the man for the job, Giolan added quickly. Wait, like he could hardly believe his ears. A head knight? I really don't have the qualifications to... Carlo shook his head, holding up his hand to silence him politely. This position requires so much more than qualification. Lord Massimilius is a primogenitor, and a tough master to serve. He requires service that no tutor can instruct you in, but I believe you have the inborn talent for it. His lordship has never received a medical examination, and all the time we've served him, said Giolan. Lady Talmatia is anxious for his health. She agrees that promoting you is our best chance. She does? He thought the Tree Queen would have forgotten all about him by now. We believe in you, Daiki. If anyone convinced Lord Maximilius to listen to reason, it's you. He was too stunned to speak. Ella took advantage of his silence to press on. There are perks, of course. Barracks well built in Shailin, his village, to house his guard. He was so resistant to our presence that we were forced to scale it back to a single head knight. You'll believe it. You'll have it all to yourself, staff provided, and whatever alterations you'd like to make it more comfortable for yourself. Well, he spread his hands. The order considers those work necessities. We'll pay for it all. If you decide to accept, we can give you until the end of the next spring. There are no penalties for failure. We understand the difficulty of the task. And, if you succeed, there will be a sea of accolades and gratitude. We'd love to give you time to fully consider, said Cairo, resting his chin on his hands with a heavy sigh. Well, the matter is urgent. I'll do it. Something in his gut told him not to be so reckless, but that was coward's twinge. He'd never get another opportunity like this. There was a surprising bit of silence. His superior stared, apparently frozen, before glancing to each other in amazement. Cairo leapt from his chair. Excellent, excellent, my boy. He hurried draw his sword from his belt, like Daiki's. It was hardly used outside of sparring, and its gold emblems shone brightly from weekly polishing. Captain Giolan will bear witness as I swear you in. Right now, normally there was at least a day's wait to prepare the ceremony. They nodded so eagerly that he hesitantly lifted himself from the chair and settled into bended knee right there. Carol gently touched the flat of his blade to each of his shoulders. With this sword, I dub thee Sir Daiki right, Knight of the Bloody Slaughter. And I do acknowledge it, said Giolan. Knight of the Bloody Slaughter. That doesn't sound like a good guy's title, guys. Now we have a chapter break. So I'm going to take this moment to drink water and rest my voice. So, how do you like it so far? Do you enjoy my voice? My whispers? Just thank you kisses from me. Let me check a few things. Alright. Kaya Eyes. Thank you for dropping by. I really appreciate it. You're a great presence to have around in my chat, even if for a minute. Thank you so much. Let me fix my posture. Okay, I appreciate you coming by. But I mean, I'm also reading a story today. Alright. Just a few more moments so my voice can rest. I hope you do enjoy. The stream, those that lurk. Okay, let's continue. This is how he found himself trudging across the countryside in a mechanical carriage. It was his first time outside the walls of the capital. His first impression was that the world was very green. Leaf Haven was filled with plants, but they were like spectators, confined to their boxes. Only ground where humans made room for them. Here the houses were sandwiched between verdant bushes and towering trees. And each vine climbed their way across bricks, poking their tips into the windows' ledges. New perfumes invited his carriage at every metre, switching dizzily from soft, delicate blossom scent to the heavy odors of stinky barks. It was fascinating for the first day or two, before his aching back and the constant clatter of his armor from the rough ground reduced him to a cynic. Thought constantly back to his friend's advice. were swindled. Hellbeater's words had been as unceremonious as always. Never mind that Taiki had rushed over to tell them the news immediately, brimming with excitement. That shit-egged Green turned his shocking blue eyes, an ice-white skin, to the face of a demon in an instant. I can't believe you agreed to serve Mialus, the man-eater, cried Sherry. Normally, she never failed to back Taiki up. As a job they gave newly trained personal knights as a hazing ritual. Is it really that bad? The worst, Mialus is violent monster of that tree, with branches that touch the heavens and no love for humans. She gestured widely to show just how huge he was. Every night, whoever was sent to serve him comes back a shadow of the person they used to be. Weren't all the humans hating trees exiled? Only the ones who plotted against us? Mialus was neutral during the war. He only took part once during a nearby city invited his land to attack the people there. And we're pretty sure that was about the land, not the people, snickered Hellbriton. His glowing pride sank into shame and guilt. So it was a punishment for telling him that I never read the recommended material. Yes, it's what you get for letting them smell weakness. Patmos, in one of those quiet, serious moods, finally spoke up. Look, Dandy, don't try to be a hero. This force is more dangerous than you know. Do the bare minimum, and avoid the Tree Lord, and come back here in one piece. Yeah, we don't want you getting eaten by the locals, joked Hellbriton. Shailin turned out to be the oddest village he'd ever seen, tucked away on a mountain and pressed on all sides by tangled riveral forest. It was nevertheless the largest and most plant-free settlement he'd encountered in this world. There seemed to be a line around the village the forest refused to cross. Kellero hadn't been exaggerating about lodgings, or either. The grand archaic building was practically a castle, looming over the quaint stone cottages. The front doors, carved from top to bottom with forests and horses, required 5 strong hands to open each one, relegating any real entrance to the side door. The stained glass windows were painted with the traditional glory battles that the Order of the Tree Guardian still exalted. There were even a small dry moat to prevent him from getting snowed in. The housekeeper, a young woman named Virin, greeted him at the end door. She was neatly put together like a painting. With a pale blue dress that complemented her brown skin and her hands secured firmly in a bun a small wooden flower pin. He didn't miss how she fluttered for a moment when he opened the carriage door. Welcome, Sir Daiki. It's a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. He followed her swift-stepped, as she led him through the house, explaining the layout, the magical mechanism that were installed. If the outside was impressive, the inside was waking dream. Thick red carpets muffled their footsteps completely, and every bathroom was filled with gold and marble. The hallways were hung with portraits of the most distinguished knights with a bloody slatter. Some, according to their plates, had lasted as long as 3 years. My apologies for interrupting, but can I ask for your honest answer to a question? Virin, about to begin an explanation of how the water generator worked, stumbled straight out of her flow. Winced internally, of course, sir. She glossed over it with a warm smile. How do you feel about Lord Messimialium? Its lordship is our protector, she answered, as if it were obvious. Shelling is the very safest place in the world. Bandits never make it this far up, and the beasts know not to trouble us. Even if your baby went missing, his lordship wouldn't have them back in your arms by sunset. I see, thank you. He kept his tone light and easy. And how do you feel about the order? His lordship and the knights have their differences, but that's between the two of us. Two of you, she said carefully. You'll find no resentment here in Shailin. He released a small breath of relief. As the clouds moved, the afternoon sun cast a warm, colorful light across the heavy wooden furniture, the most luxurious material in this world. It filled every room that Verin showed him. You have a lovely village. It would be a nice place to settle down. She stopped so suddenly. He almost crashed into her. Many emotions passed through the wide eyes she turned on him. Shock, excitement, caution. He awkwardly held still while it grew into a glowing smile. Yes, I hope you can. And she continued the tour with even more gusto. Just a short break. Not going to lie, the rain sounds make me sleepy. Let me just check a few things. Okay. Okay. I checked. Welcome back, Zeno. What's up? We probably won't finish the story today, because it is quite long. It was hard to find something shorter. Well, I'm happy that you came back from it. I'm proud of you. You are strong. Mm. 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 Kisses of encouragement from me. Okay, let us continue the story. Sorry guys, guess you'll have to visit me on vacation. Those were Tarek's final thoughts as he prepared to greet the Tree Lord. First impressions were the most lasting, so he spent the afternoon shining his armor and retired at 9 o'clock to rest his aching back. Come morning he was washed and ready to dress by dawn. Those make it the man, so this was a process that couldn't be rushed. The silver armor the order issued was non-customizable, but not even their superiors were. Those the hideous acid green cloak, like he favored royal purple, no more than ever since it complemented his eyes, but he settled on white because uncontroversial. A hard word. Hello monsters, good to see you. Your presence is greatly appreciated. Thank you for coming. The hair was the most difficult choice. Mihau was an elderly gentleman. He probably wanted a knight who looked tidy and reliable. If he played it too safe, though, he wouldn't stand out and would be easily swept aside like the others. Plus, there was nothing to say that an older man couldn't appreciate a handsome face too. In the end, he compromised by running 3 braids along the right side of his hair, leaving the rest of it down. He could only count on his good looks to save him. The fact that the girls at the fruit stall giggled and waved when he passed by gave him just that little extra confidence. "Good morning, Sir Dikey," Bern called. He looked around to find her leaning out the top window of a nearby house. "If you're going to see his lordship, could you tell my little sister to come home? She's snuck out to see him again, but the breakfast is almost ready." Of course, I'll escort her home right away," called Bart, waving. "Thank you, her name is Cotty, and she's a right little lady, so I'm sorry in advance for any trouble she gives you." He flashed her a grin. "Don't worry, I have a lot of experience with boisterous saplings." At last, he was able to stand on the edge of the trees. It was a verdant forest, so teeming with life that shadows fell across every part of it, and no path existed. The humblest of perennials were taller than him. He took a deep breath of the warm, oxygen-rich air and smiled. Deep, deep in the city of plants was the forest king himself, invisible to the human eye, but waiting. Containment field that hid him from the view also protected the outside world from the atmosphere he created. If not for the mandatory physical transmutations that recruit underwent when they qualified, even Daiki would die within minutes of passing through. He stepped into the forest carefully, brushing aside the countless leaves that tried to keep his foot from touching the soil. A glass root was leaning coquettishly against the tree at the entrance. "I don't know this word, sorry." Its pale, delicate blossoms dangling out towards him, dipped in a gentle bow. "Good morning to you. May I ask what that you let Lord Messimialus know that I'm here? I'm his new knight." In a few seconds, a fragile, dreamy scent flooded the air. It was so subtle. You would never notice the change if you weren't watching for it. Soon it would pass through the whole forest, and everyone would know exactly where he was. You could only hope they had reported him as a guest, not a predator. Predator. "10 minutes passed, but no vassal appeared. He pressed aside and continued picking his way deeper. It was hard to imagine any child running into his den. The more the villagers slipped out of sight, the wilder the plants grew. Weeds and mushrooms spread themselves across what little free ground there was, and the leaves of the tallest plants stretched across any airspace available. Any apparent path he tried to follow soon ran into a tree of bush too bloated to slip around. There was a spacious number of pines hanging out a foot above the ground, always conveniently hidden beneath a leaf or two. The eyes were the worst, like he knew the plants were watching him. The twist was different, which made the hair on the back of his neck stand up. The trees Like creatures were climbing in them, but no matter how fast he turned, all he saw was the branches swinging back into place. He almost stumbled over the kids. They were crouched over in the foliage with their backs to him, heads lowered over something on the ground. He knew Viren's sister as soon as she raised her head. She had the same hazel eyes and was even wearing one of her sister's hairpins. But the boy was a mystery. His deep ebony skin and vine-colored hair didn't resemble any villager he'd seen. Cotty screamed. Taiki jolted back, tripping and landing against a tree. She clung to the boy, who had dragged at all. No, not the boy. On a second glance, his tiny shorts and crop top revealed hard muscle and fully developed limbs. With the turn of his head, his puffy low ponytail moved enough to see the strong jaw it had been concealing, and he raised his sharp, pastel green eyes. No whites, no pupils, no irises. This extremely challenged twink was a vassal. Extremely hate challenged twink. That's a sentence. Who are you? How did you get here? Cotty demanded. With some difficulty, he pushed himself back onto his feet and resumed something close to knightly dignity. Be at ease, Cotty. Welcome, Leaf Crow. Good to have you here. Your presence is greatly appreciated. I'm very happy to see you. Thank you for coming. Greeting kiss for you. With some difficulty, he pushed himself back on his feet and resumed something close to knightly dignity. Be at ease, Cotty. How do you know my name? I don't know you. She looked at the vassal. How did he sneak up on us, Lord Massimalus? He scoffed, waving a hand to dismiss the idea. You knew he was here? Like he was glad to see her relax slightly, although she still eyed him warily. Clearing his throat, he began to draw his sword, then thought better of it at the sharp glance from the vassal. He took one knee and bowed as elegantly as he could manage with the leaves interfering. Apologies for startling you. I am Sir Daiki Wright, Knight of the Bloody Slaughter, and I have come to... Something the weight of a shoulder smashed into him instantly. His lungs were empty and his stomach lurched. The forest became nothing but colors spinning around him. At the next second, he dropped, plunging into the ice-cold water. Just before panic took hold, several pairs of strong hands dragged him up and pinned him back against the solid surface. It was just enough to keep his head above the water. He heard Cody's shrieking laughter some distance away. Numbly, he registered the remarkably deep pool he was in. No doubt he was left to sink. He would have to cut his armor to escape. The water was already seeping into it, weighting him like lead. The vassals held him in place like a small puppy. There were 4 of them, 3 of the kind he'd just met. And now a giant of a man in leaf green armor. His hair was bound back in a braided bun, highlighting his piercing eyes and thick neck. Like you would have thought he was an unfriendly fortress of a muscle, even if he hadn't just rugby tackled him. Hello, Palat. Good to have you here. Thank you for coming, as always. They grinned down at him, revealing rows of razor-sharp thorns in place of teeth. Nice, milord. Really give it to him, Cody called as she caught up. Please don't, he thought. He took a breath and tried to steady his voice. Your sister, Viren, requested I bring you home for breakfast. Oh. The disappointment in her voice was extremely satisfying. I guess I need to go, my lord. Thank you, monster. That's partially the idea. Feel free to fall asleep to my voice. To his relief, the muscle fiend dragged him out and dropped by him by a tree. The excess water gushed through the joints and released his heaviness that was crushing his waist, his chest. He gulped down air gratefully, like he had barely been allowed to catch his breath before Cody tapped her foot against his grave. Let's go, Mr. Knight. Lord Malum will show us the way back. His mind was too blank for a witty reply, and would have tarnished his reputation as a knight anyway. Ignoring the dirty looks the little girl was giving him, he levered himself onto his feet and followed her back. Every step, every tiny joint movement was accompanied by a squelch. The mountain chill offered no reprieve. He was almost glad to be too stunned to feel it proper. Cody, on the other hand, walked confidently with her face turned upwards. Were people in the trees, more vassals, judging by the short hair and skin color. These ones were tall but slender, their faces androgynous and disturbingly peaceful. Long, loosely braided hair hung down as their arms pointed their way. Were they always here? Duh, she answered, rolling her eyes. How do you think he saw you before? Can't tell the future. Smirking, she snatched a bell-brown from a passing branch. After looking to the vassals for a permission, and took a deep bite. Lord Messimialum, this name, I swear to God, is everywhere in the forest. He's always watching you. He didn't have the energy to explain plant communication or the nature of vassals to her. So let her it be, trudging silently back to the village. Okay, let's take a little break. We're like 1/3 of the way there to the end of the story. Maybe 1/4. Okay. Give me a second, I have to go refill my water and we'll read for a little bit more. You love the story? I'm glad, Painter. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of not paying as much attention to the details. I'm getting the gist. But because I'm focusing on reading and whispering, I'm not getting as much detail. But okay, I'm going to go get some water. I'm back. Okay, let's continue reading. I do hope you enjoy. Oh, let me give me a second. Alright. Okay. A warm bath and a soft bed helped Aiki's rational mind return. There wasn't a single bruise on his body, dent in his armor, or tear in his cloak. took very deliberate skill to manage that when you had the strength of 10 elephants. More than that, there was no way a mouthy Bradley Cotty would survive prolonged interaction with violent, short-term tree beings. The next morning, he retreated into the study to confront the mountains of reading material he'd been provided with. They covered every topic from the basic trigger to scare stories of human haters, but all he was interested in today were the books that featured Mihau. Perhaps coincidentally, those were also the books written in the 3 script, the highest and hardest register for him to read. But not even the subpar language skill Telmentia had given him would stand in his way. Word by word, line by line, he sat and translated them into the common register. When he discovered was especially gratifying. What he discovered was especially gratifying. Sure, Mihau was a cutthroat plant obsessed with becoming the strongest. It strangled every sapling that dared to try and grow in the same ley line, starved the land of nutrients to grow his monstrous branches, and developed into a carnivore to bulk himself further. But that was standard behavior for plants, really. It was a rose-eat-rose world out there. His interactions with the other Nephroti were more telling. He was described as wild-spirited, hot-blooded and ready to spar at all times. He next to never showed up in a story unless it was a competition of strength or someone begging him to lift something. He was boastful, insulting, not particularly compassionate, but once humans arrived on their scene, he all but disappeared. Other than that fateful night where he'd beaten the inverted's head off and hung their bodies as a warning to the reinforcements. He was lucky to be credited as a bridge builder in a throwaway line. Daiki was willing to stake his life on Messimalium, the Monitor, being a myth, and that the Tree Lord didn't want his loyal vassals would never carry out. By the end of the week, Summers had dried and his game plan was ready. Daiki opened the window to find a beautiful spring morning, with the first bright streaks of sunlight falling over the treetops and the birds, and he was surprised that there were any, bravely raising their voices from the canopy. Today was the day for new beginnings, if there ever was one. Tucking the board under his arm, he stole out through the empty village to the edge of the trees. "Please, let his lordship know that I'm coming in," he whispered to the glass road. He didn't wait for the stand to raise this time. His heart thumped oddly as he passed over the border. The air was stiller here somehow. A choir of birds beckoned him deeper into the forest, where dawn lit the leaves as if they had a natural halo, illuminating the knot paths with a light of their own, and the dew in the air brushed against his skin like a lover's fingers. Above him, the androgynous vassals launched like cherubs on clouds of leaves, watching silently. He noted their long hair didn't end in clumps of antlers, as you'd expect the vassals of adult tree to have. Instead, the ends were blunt, like someone had taken a pair of scissors to them. He walked until he reached something that didn't fit the mood. The twin vassals shoving one of those heavenly singers hastily down his throat. Daiki took the initiative. "Good morning. I apologize for interrupting your breakfast, but was hoping we could talk." The twin turned a disdainful gaze on him. The beard squelched as his thorns closed on it. "I know that vassals don't have voices of their own," he said quickly, So I brought this. He produced the handheld blackboard, an accompanying chalk with a smile. There was no returning glee from the twink. Nonetheless, he swallowed and snatched, scrolling quickly in a messy yet traditional script. I like that he keeps calling him the twink. Live or die. Nike's trying creates in his smile. See? Clear communication at last. He dropped his bag on a nearby rock before he could ride again. But I don't think you'll kill me, and no matter how many times you chase me out, I'm not allowed to go back to the city until at least the end of next spring. The vassal sneered at him. So I have a permission for your, So I have a proposition for you, for your master. Mihau sat down defiantly. First, why don't we introduce ourselves? I'm Sir Daiki Wright. I use he/him pronouns. There was a mocking snort, but the board was wiped and refilled. Messimialum, he/him. He held his breath for a split second. There was telepathy happening here. He knew that vassals always shared their pronouns with their masters, but their name, unlikely. It's a pleasure to meet you, my lord, even if indirectly. Hello, Maester. I'm glad you came. I appreciate your presence. Thank you. Thank you both for being here. You were great. The vassal eyed him from head to foot like he was a Viking sculpture of shit, disturbing to the point of amazement. Cleared his throat and pressed on in spite of it. Pressed on in spite of it. You see, my lord, we could spend this year fighting, but it won't be much fun. I propose that we make a game out of it. I'll make a game of you in a minute. If you don't like what I have to say, you can go right ahead. He hurried on, fighting to keep his tone even. But I really think you'll like this. I've been reading a lot about you and your incredible power. It is true that you're the strongest Nephrotus in the world? The twink thrust the board out with a smile, setting his stance wide. It is. But you must have your limits. No, he raised his chin in indignation at the very idea. Like he grinned. Then why don't we bet on it? If I can give you a challenge that you can't complete, I win, and I get to give you a full health exam. And what do I get for winning? Like scoffed as confidently as he could. Come on, we both know that you're guaranteed victory. Getting something from me would be like giving me 100 handicaps that you don't need. If I can get you to cooperate by the end of the next spring, I'll be gone anyway. Then you can play with the next champ they toss your way. The vassal's chest swelled slightly as he praised, but he continued to stare him down. After a minute and a half, he wrote again. Alright, Daiki, but you'll never defeat me. Only a flick of his ponytail disappeared with the board, leaving Daiki dumbstruck and with no one to question. His name had been written in kanji. And with a flick of a ponytail, he disappeared with the board, leaving Daiki dumbstruck and with no one to question. His name had been written in kanji. Previously there was a mention of Lara Croft. Maybe it's been more clearly established, but I assume it's our world, a version of our world, or maybe the future of our world. I was so focused on reading I might have lost the details. But now kanji as well. Interesting. I wonder what that means. The gamble was a partial success. It was a struggle to come up with a convincingly difficult challenges at first, but after picking his brain to bear several deals, he found that he could turn the villagers' problems into trials with a little or a bit of creativity. The vassals raised their eyebrows at being there to repair the hole in Mr. Wizard's roof in 10 minutes, carry all Miss Abel's stock to her shop in one go, and find Lilium's lost teddy bear, but they carried out each task perfectly in their master's place. Daiki also had full permission to go anywhere he wanted in the forest, and could choose to sit beside any vassal, or if he sat down anywhere, one would soon appear. But even though the board was passed forward to his companion, Mihau spoke the bare minimum and ignored all questions. Spring became summer. The heat of the season had crept in unannounced, withering the bells of the grass root and unfurling the buds of the long-petaled passion flame. Gradually, the whole forest changed its clothes. Daiki longed to do the same. Instead of for the sake of decorum, he was forced to endure the sweat running down the back of his neck, and hide in the shadows to keep his armor cool. He had to fill the silence to distract himself. He told the vassal about the plants he'd cultivated for clients back on Earth. Ah, so it's another planet. Okay. I'm just a fool, I guess, for missing that. About Pando, Earth's oldest tree that had survived a colossal 80,000 years, and about the man Chinel, whose every leaf, fruit, and inch of bark contained deadly toxin that could cause aphasia. My apologies. Fruit and inch of bark contained deadly toxin that could cause asphyxiation just by standing near it for too long. When he ran out of plant stories, his marine facts his parents had taught him, or spoke about the things he missed from home. Only once, when he was talking about the books he used to read, did a message come through on the board. You can't read. He was so stunned, the vassal had to tap the board to prompt an answer. I can, but not as easily as I can read English and Japanese, and some of the harder scripts are almost impossible for me. He pushed himself into a better sitting position so he could look him in the eye. When the ritual went wrong and was sacked here from Earth, drained Lady Telmatia. This was the best she could do for me. I feel like we're missing context for this story, but it's fine. It's a good standalone as well. The other vassals had turned their eyes on him. After a few moments, twink with the board wrote again. She lied to you. Before he could ask what they meant, the corpses of 7 bears crashed down on the ground beside him. Mihau answered to hand a feast for the village. One day, in the height of summer, he stumbled into a clearing full of half-naked vassals. His first thought was that he'd interrupted some kind of inter-vassal or wrestling match, but no one was fighting. In fact, they were all turned into his direction and smiling. "Good morning?" The twin scribe wrote sweetly. "Happy birthday!" Despite his training, his jaw dropped. The vassal bared their tongues smugly. "Thank you, painter, for coming. I appreciate your presence. Your good night kisses." "Said last week that today is your birthday, so here is Elf's traditional shirtless man." He had been listening partially. He'd spent a day last week rambling about the different ways people chose to celebrate their birthdays back home, and might have let it slip that he wished he could hire strippers. But for Taiki, who didn't even have the courage to download Grindr, it was nothing more than a pipe dream. Now he didn't know where to look. The twin continued writing. "We've lived for 34 years and crossed 2 worlds, and nothing has eaten you yet. Congratulations." This was accompanied by a swarm of thumbs up from the nearest vassals. "Say I'm feeling bored and tell Mattia can do the bare minimum for her poor ignorant pawn. I'll perform your elf rituals today." In fact, the tree queen had sent a letter amongst the pile of presents and cards from his friends. She had very earnestly wished him a happy birthday and thanked him for his dutiful service. He thought Massimialum would rather not hear that though. "Thank you, my lord," pulled himself together just enough to give an earthly bow. "Your generosity knows no bounds." The vassals lifted the shins with pride. "Enough of that today. Sit down and have your cake." A flurry of hands pushed him gently along until he found himself sitting on a boulder. One of the muscle bullies thrust one of the baker's famous ruleberry cakes into his face. The same one he'd mentioned wanting to try, if he could only buy one before they sold out. The nickname bully was maybe a misnomer now. They hadn't laid a hand on Daiki since the first day. Without the upper half of his armor, didn't look nearly as intimidating, though it was still impossible to ignore his presence. He was as ripped as Daiki had expected, an absolute mass of muscle, with biceps you could wrap your arms around, a solid stomach, and a deceptively soft-looking chest. He wondered if his skin was as soft and warm as humans, or if... He tore his gaze back to the cave before the thought could go further. "Thank you, my lord." Their grins widened. Two scribe twins, whose remarkably toned bodies he was not going to linger on, wrote, "You can look, you can touch. I'm not shy." Nodded in assent. He continued to admiring the fragrant red sauce traced across the cake. Even he was brave enough, he would never know if the vassals really consented or if they were only following orders. They chuckled silently. Blow out your candles. No fire, of course, but you can pretend." He obeyed. A cacophony of applause shook the mountain. The vassals had merely put their hands together half-heartedly, but the results had put the noise of 3 music festivals to shame. Unis chewed at his stomach. The cake was lifted and cut in a group effort. In the meantime, a twink slipped a wine glass into his hand, and an androgynous tree-hugger leaned over him to fill it. Taiki watched the rising liquid to ignore how close they were. The fresh scent of bark and healthy leaves smothered his senses. A muscleman replaced the tree-hugger at his side to lift a forkful of cake to his lips. It was sweet, yet sour softness wasn't enough to block out the slow, smoldering smile the vassals gave him. Thorns be damned. It's getting steamy here. Hot and steamy, like you, chat. When he next glanced around, the number of vassals in the clearing had tripled Is this really fun for you, my lord? He asked, rushing to swallow. It is. You're really so silent. If all you wish for me to speak less, you had only to ask. Did I say I wanted that? I then gave him the chance to reply. 6 of the vessels up the board, and I refilled it. Little knight, I can see you're dim, but well-meaning. Telmatia will only give you as much she needs to use you. I'm better than her in every way, so why don't you join me? So it was this sort of ploy after all. He took a swing of his wine before answering. Sorry, but the politics of trees had nothing to do with me. I'm here to do my job. You're right, but you're wrong. Never mind that. Come to my side and I'll give you everything. Immortality, eternal youth, strength beyond your means, the ability to read every language in the cosmos. The list filled the rest of the board, but he only skimmed it. Nothing was worth the trouble this would bring. Thanks, but all I want is a husband and a house. They clicked their tongues in unison. Fine, but let me give you the gift of knowledge of your birthday. They wiped the board and wrote a single word. Vassal. Then, with a quick swipe, they swapped one of the vowels. Runes. Vessel. He blinked. Oh, have I been mispronouncing it? You misunderstood everything. You think you have a lot of company today. He waited while they cleared the board and wrote again. The only person here is me. He didn't bother to hide his confusion. Vessels are not servants. They're body parts that aren't attached to me. They don't have minds or senses of their own. Just like you, your foot doesn't. Just like your foot doesn't. He tried to wrap his head around that. Surely they had to have some awareness, even as puppets. The withering look they gave him, that he gave him, seemed to read his mind. One person, many bodies, one person. But his brain couldn't draw a picture for how that would work. Do all humans from Earth struggle like this? Probably. Messimialum gave a collective sigh. It swept through the forest like a soft breeze. We'll get there, eventually. And I think with that, that's quite enough reading for the day. And I will be slowly ending this stream. Thank you for everyone that came for even a moment, chatted, all Lord. You are all amazing, and I appreciate you very much. Kisses for you all. Again, remember guys, you are enough. You're amazing. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. Good girl. Good boy. Good boy. Good being. Good being. And a good pet if you wish to be. Mine or whoever else's. I think you are smart and nice people, and I am lucky to have you as my viewers. Thank you for coming to my first ASMR. We'll see how many will I do in the future. If it's going to be a mainstay or not. At least in the streaming form. Because I still want to do videos. Scripted roleplay videos. Like that. Like the one I already have on the channel. But yes. That's going to be it. I'm going to paste the story into the chat. If you wish to read them or read it fully yourself, you might come back to it on stream, but maybe you don't have the patience. So here it is. It's also going to be in chat. In the description, I mean. Again, thank you. You're all great. And don't tell anyone tell you otherwise, even yourself, even your own thoughts. If you have trouble, it will pass. If you are in good mood or bad mood or any other mood, it's valid. Just take some time to decompress. Take some time for yourself, for self-care. Everything will be fine. You will be fine. You all are strong enough. And I believe in you. We will see each other tomorrow on a stream. On a normal stream this time. Once for the last time, thank you for coming. Kisses for all of you. Bye bye. Oyasumon. Oyasumon. Oyasumon.